All right, so you want to know what it's like living in Fallbrook, California? Well, today we're going to be going over everything you need to know about living in Fallbrook, and we're going to show you around and give you all like the in-depth tour of what it's like living in Fallbrook, California. So let's start. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, and obviously on this channel we talk about living and making the move to San Diego, California. And while I even love dropping videos for you every Tuesday and Thursday, what I love even more, being a licensed agent, Eric being a licensed lender in San Diego, is helping you with your real estate decisions when making that move. So this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of us when making that move. And I really hope you give us a call, because we absolutely love helping you when making that move. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and like so you'll be notified every time we drop a new video, because we show you what it's like to actually live here in San Diego. And I'm not from here, so it's the God's honest truth. So today, Fallbrook, California. I think Eric will take us into it.
What's up, guys? Like Cameron said, my name's Eric. I actually live here in Fallbrook, so I'm super passionate about this little town, this little community, and especially the small town vibes that come along with this. So today, kind of where we're starting in this video here is at Live Oak Park in Fallbrook. It's an absolutely amazing park, great area for families, kids, picnics. You can see, like, this isn't like your typical park with the background behind us. Very, very outdoors feeling, awesome for kids, dogs. Yeah, so this is where we're starting. We're gonna show you all around Fallbrook and some other awesome areas.
Yeah, for sure. And then when we get started as well, who would actually live in Fallbrook? Like, what kind of person would this be a good fit for? I imagine it wouldn't be someone who wants to live on the beach every day.
No. So Fallbrook is a really unique area in San Diego. So I'd say we're about 30 to 40 minutes away from the coast, depending on traffic is the key there.
Mm-hmm.
But the type of people you're gonna see in Fallbrook are, there's definitely a younger crowd. It's very, very family oriented. That small town vibe is real and alive here. So, if you're looking for, the downtown, kind of gas lamp or Pacific Beach vibes, you're not going to quite find that here. Yes, we have some awesome, sports bars, and we have some great restaurants, and we're going to highlight that stuff later. But really the type of living you're going to find here is a little more country feel. You still have the beach aspect, because we can get to the beach really quick. But more than anything, it is very family oriented, very family friendly. There's a lot to do here. If you're an outdoors person, that wants to get you, your family, your kids out of the house, go explore. This is such an awesome town to do that in.
For sure. And I think everyone always sees when they come to visit here, there's always avocados everywhere. Don't they have an avocado festival as well?
Yeah, so Fallbrook is the self-proclaimed, right? Self-proclaimed avocado capital of the world. So there's a ton of avocado orchards and farms, and they have an avocado festival. It seems like everything here is named after avocados, which is great. I am new to Fallbrook, so I've only been here about a year, so I don't know all the history. I know they have a really, really rich history here. I've really tried to do a good job of kind of integrating myself into the town, and just learning a lot about it. And what I love most is the people and how friendly everybody is, and how much there is to do in such a small town, how much land you get with homes, how big the homes are. But yet, if I need to, order pizza or run out to Walgreens to grab something, right?
Or Rite Aid, they got both.
Right, everything is here. So there's fast food restaurants. It's not such a rural area of living that there's nothing here. There's Starbucks, there's Carl's Jr., there's Jack in the Box, there's 127 West and Mexican restaurants, and there's all of this really, really rich environment. But you've been to my house, right? Like,
I have.
We have a decent plot of land. We're not right on top of our neighbors. We can ride dirt bikes, and I can also order things to my house. Whereas if I go 30 minutes to the coast, that's not happening, right?
No.
So
people always have this misconception that Fallbrook is extremely out of the way for some reason. I think that's like the biggest thing that people always get afraid of. But in reality, it's really not that much out of the way.
No.
Especially like people will go away to like Riverside to work in San Diego, but they always kind of bypass Fallbrook because they just, I don't know, they overlook it. They think it's just way too out of the way, and I don't think that's the case.
No, so let's talk about geographically for a minute where Fallbrook is located. So we are located in between the 5 and the 15, much closer to the 15 than we are the 5, right? So the highway that kind of runs down that connects Fallbrook to San Diego or Oceanside, right? Because we are still San Diego, but that connects us to Oceanside is the 76. Now, if I wanted to go down south, say to downtown, if I wanted to go catch a game at the stadium or whatever, I shoot down right on the 15. You know, the 15, especially 15 South, there's not too bad of traffic. The 15 is significantly better traffic-wise than the 5 is. So people that are having to commute downtown or having to commute to Chula Vista for work, is Fallbrook a bit of a drive? Yeah, absolutely it is. There's no denying that, and we don't want to give you guys the wrong impression there. But so many people drive right by, like Cameron said, going right to Temecula, to Riverside, Murrieta, and you're passing this little gem that people forget. So I really love it. You can also cut across on the 76. If the 76 was busy and you needed to go, you know, you were headed down a little further south, you could cut across on the 78. There's so many options to cut over to the coastal cities from Fallbrook. And when you move out here, you get that small town, family-oriented country vibe living. Housing prices are significantly better than they are on the coast.
It's true.
Plus, it's a much different style of living than you would get coastal.
It's true. I actually got a story about someone who had bought a home out here. So obviously, it's San Diego, homes can go into the multi-millions. They can go, they're all over the place. Obviously more expensive depending, especially if you're not from Southern California. But we had someone who actually bought a home here in Fallbrook. And obviously it was probably about a $900 million home. So it came with about 5 acres, hilltop views. And it came with, which is really common, I noticed up in Fallbrook, is homes will come with vineyards. Some will come with vineyards attached to it, which is crazy. So if you're a huge wine person and maybe you really enjoy that, like homes actually have small vineyards that have already like been upkept and taken care of on the home. And actually after he bought the home, he got a call from a vineyard up in Temecula, and the previous owner had given it all his harvest the year before to that vineyard, and they processed it, and it was just sitting there. He never came back for it. And the guy actually ended up negotiating with the new owner and was like, hey, like if you pay what it cost me to distill this and produce the wine, like you can just have it.
Wow. And
he was able to do that and ended up creating his own wine for about 2 years. Took him to sell that off.
Yeah.
So isn't that crazy? But I feel like that's it really encompasses what Fallbrook is. I mean, it's country, it's vineyards, and like it shows you how much people overpass Fallbrook and they want to go straight to Temecula.
There is, and you know, to kind of just piggyback off that, the range of homes in Fallbrook is so unique, right? So you could have homes, you know, from 5 to 700 up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $8 million homes. There is a hugely diverse variety of homes out here with levels of land that are also just as diverse. With some of them might have avocado orchards, citrus orchards, a ton of vineyards. There's actually 2 vineyards right here in this little Fallbrook town. And we'll take you guys by there later. There's a whole little Main Street downtown area. There's an awesome library that has a whole roof that's made of succulents and a garden. There's a ton of hiking trails. There's so much to do here that so many people are starting to find out. I mean, and I know it might sound weird that like way out here in this little town there could be so much to do. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times my wife and I have said, hey, you know what, like the winery's open today, we're gonna go take the dog and we're gonna head down to the winery, and you know, she has a glass of wine, I have some sangria, they got live music, they got a food truck, we sit, we drink, we meet people. I mean, it's a great time. Is it like, you know, are we out clubbing in downtown San Diego? No, we're not. But also, you know, it's very, very, like I said, the demographic here is very different than what you might find in downtown. And we'll do downtown videos later because there's a lot to offer there. But this is very much a place to where
tucked away,
you can establish some roots. And honestly, man, it's such a fun place to live.
It is. I remember, so I used to live just south of Fallbrook for a couple years, and I used to come up, I would choose to come to Fallbrook if I was like giving my wife a break and watching the kids for a little bit, because they have a lot of like walking trails here that are pretty enclosed, so I can just let the kids just run around.
Yeah.
Like this park's a great example. Like it's, and like what's crazy is even on a Friday, right? Like even in San Diego, even on a Friday, any park would be packed. And you look around right now, I mean, we got maybe a couple people walking around this park, and it's like, that's Fallbrook to me, where it's, the way it's set up is, it's really, like I don't see it getting really extremely crowded because they do such a great job of keeping things spread out.
Yeah, it is spread out, and it's really cool, and it is. There's not really, I've never been to this park where it's been super crowded, but I will say, like, way on the other side of the park, probably an acre and a half away, there's a basketball court. Like, I drive by there sometimes and I'll see pickup games going on. You know, I've seen big parties with bounce houses here, and there's just always, you know, something going on. And while we're sitting here shooting this video, it's interesting, you know, there's some people walking and that obviously know each other. You just run into them and they're like, oh, hey, how you doing today? It's just such a cool feeling. Every time I go into Ace Hardware, you know, my wife and I just had a baby, right?
Yeah.
So we go into Ace Hardware and my wife wasn't with me, and they're like, oh my gosh, how's your wife? Did she have the baby? It's just like such a cool feeling that
my kids would always, that same Ace Hardware, when we would go to it, because obviously I have a Traeger, I love to smoke meats.
Yeah.
And obviously Ace Hardware has all the whole Traeger line. And yeah, my kids would always get like a candy or go there, like, oh, here's a sucker and things like that. Obviously, like, I think not everything's perfect, so don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video, because after we show you around and wrap everything up, there are cons with living in Fallbrook, and I think we'll cover those at the end. So stay tuned to that. But also, that's why it's all so important, is because while, you know, Fallbrook's great, if you choose the wrong area and you don't know where to go, like, you could hate it. Like anywhere in San Diego. Like, it's, you know, like, maybe you don't want a hilltop home, maybe you would prefer to be closer to the center and things like that. So there's a lot that goes into it, so it's always important to make sure you reach out to find the exact place, because after our conversation, I mean, you could pinpoint pretty close where you should look at. Yeah, and
that's a huge point, right? Because Fallbrook is huge. Like, it's massive. So, you know, if you all of a sudden you're, you know, say you're watching this video and you get online and you're, you know, looking on Redfin or Zillow or wherever you're looking for a home, and you're looking in Fallbrook and you see this house on 17 acres that's $225,000, and you're like, oh man, it's in Fallbrook. It could be like way out in Fallbrook. I mean, it might take you an hour to get to the house because there is those properties here.
Yeah. Now, I have met people who are all about that life, and they're like, man, like, even like you could be just off the 15, right? But I've seen hilltop homes where like you'll be like, oh, like it's just off the 15 on the map. It can't be that far, but the driveway is so long going to the hilltop. Like, you really, all of a sudden you go from, like, let's say you're driving like to North County, to the rest of North County, driving south, like you can go from like, you know, a 30-minute drive to taking you 45-50 minutes just to get to your house, because
the road,
you're all the way up there. Especially if you like going to stores and stuff like that, because yes, there are local grocers here in Fallbrook, but I wouldn't say if you're trying to like shop deals or maybe go to like Costco and things like that, like you are going to have to drive south, and depending where your home is, like that could really add some massive time. You know?
Agreed.
And it's not really a con. It's just, but that's why it's so important to make sure you reach out, because if you're in the wrong spot, like it's really easy to go from good to great or bad to ugly and things like that. So
exactly. So and we'll show you guys what, you know, we'll take you on tours of some neighborhoods that are easily accessible, homes that are quick to get to downtown, quick freeway access, and then we'll drive you guys by some of those neighborhoods that I personally looked at and ruled out some of those homes when we were buying, because I'm like, holy cow, like, it's gonna take me 20 minutes just to get all the way back to the house on this road. Like, not worth it. Like, I'm gonna pass on the house. So we will show you guys that here coming up.
All right, well guys, let's go along on the journey. All right, so right now we're driving through what would be Mission Avenue, right? It's central road that runs straight through Fallbrook in the town, right?
Right, so this turns into Main Street, which is right behind us. And like I said earlier, there really is a lot to offer. So, you know, there's all the different shopping centers and fast food restaurants and Jersey Mike and car washes, and there's really is so much to do, and you get this kind of country style living, but you have all the amenities that you would want being in a much larger town. So we're getting ready to turn actually onto Mission right now, and right here off Mission there's a Starbucks and an Albertsons and a CVS and Taco Bell, and McDonald's is just to the right of us. There's a ton of pet stores, and you know what's really cool about this is as we drive through this really, you know, kind of quick area right here, is we're gonna kind of come back right into more of these kind of sprawling open houses. The Vineyard is like 2 miles from here. So there really is a lot of diverse things that go on in this town. So we're getting ready to come up to the library, which will be a really cool shot. The library in this town is they've really put a lot of time and energy and effort into it. So that'll be something kind of unique and really cool for you guys to see as well.
I think one of my favorite things also is there's a lot of coffee shops, not just Starbucks. So for those of you like me who love caffeine, there's a lot of places to enjoy it. So, all right, so where are we heading to next? You said we're gonna get a little bit of the library and things like that.
Yep, and this is one of my wife's favorite coffee shops right here on the corner. It's called Fallbrook Coffee. You know, kind of a cool little place. If you want to show that off here, definitely a very unique little coffee shop. And definitely just a fun place to go. You can get coffee. All of their baked goods are super good. Yeah, so it's one of those places that when you're here and you're local, definitely something to check out. Let's see, so library is going to be coming up here on the right, and you'll see what I mean about how unique this place is. So I'm going to slow down a little here. This is actually the roof of the library. Take a look at this.
So as you were driving to the next spot, we passed Fallbrook Elementary School, and we got talking about school. So I think one thing, if you have younger kids, like especially elementary age, I think one of my favorite things about Fallbrook and this area is like their elementary schools are pretty top rated.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Not bad.
Like you said, you know, the class sizes are a bit smaller, which is definitely nice. Now, when we say the schools are good, right? Like, if you have young kids and your school districts are really, really important to you, right? People start, you know, they gravitate towards, you know, Poway or Rancho Bernardo or Rancho Santa Fe. And what I think that they're forgetting is, yes, those school districts are really, really excellent school districts and top rated in all of San Diego. But the home prices, I mean, can you even get a home for under 1.2, 1.4 million in that area?
In Poway? No. Not unless you're looking at a 55 up community and you're still spending like 600. So
right. So, you know, everywhere in San Diego is definitely gonna have give and take. And obviously you guys know, like, I'm gonna be, you know, really passionate about Fallbrook. This is where I live, and I really love it here. I think there's a lot to offer. But with that aside, there is just a lot of amenities here that you get in such a small town. I mean, you can see as we're driving, like, these homes, we're getting into the lower priced homes around this area, you know, sprinkled in with some homes that are still, you know, well over $1 million, just because land size and home size vary so much. But as we're talking, we're getting ready to go down Mission, heading towards the 15 right now, and this is where one of the wineries is. It's a really cool kind of family owned and operated winery. They do a ton of events for Christmas time and Halloween, and, you know, all the major holidays. They have events and stuff that go on, and it's actually coming up right here on my left. It's called 1924. It's a really, really cool little winery here, and the gate is closed, so we can't pull in. But what I will do is pull in this small drive just to get you guys a little shot of what it looks like.
Yeah, so it's like we mentioned before, is that Fallbrook is in a position to where vineyards are, it's like, especially if you're coming from like Northern California or maybe somewhere where you have more vineyards and like farms and things like that, Fallbrook, even though obviously it has all these amenities, is still a place where you can find a lot of these cool things. So let me get out here, I'll give you a shot of like some of the vineyards that you can expect here. Super cool. So definitely a great vineyard, but that's I think that summarizes what it's like living in Fallbrook. Is you still get all this stuff. You're really not that far from a lot of things, but you know, you get vineyards, you get, you know, avocado festivals. Like it still keeps a lot of that old North San Diego culture that I think used to be here. I mean, we all hear stories like back in the 90s, North San Diego used to be all farms.
Right.
And, you know, obviously as San Marcos, Oceanside, Vista, they all get extremely built out, and they're finding as much place to build as they can. Fallbrook, the way it's set up, the way like the homes have more space, is I think it's kind of holding on to a lot of that culture that North San Diego used to have, you know, not really that long ago.
Agreed.
So, awesome. All right, let's go to our next spot. All right, so now we're wrapping it up here. We just went around all around Fallbrook, and we're here at the Airpark. So why don't you tell a little bit about this area and then wrap it up.
This is really cool, guys. Another kind of little hidden gem behind us here is that Airpark in Fallbrook. So little private airport. They have an awesome flight school. Just another thing that you might not expect in a small town. So we've shown you the vineyards, the downtown strip. We've shown you some track home communities. We've shown you some communities that have bigger sprawling homes with large lots, right? And all of that stuff was within a 4-mile radius of downtown, including this Airpark. Yep. So there really is a lot to offer. This is one of the gems in San Diego that is a really unique little town. You get that rural area living with a lot of modern amenities. So yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I really love it here. I think there's a lot to offer, and if you have questions,
for sure, let us know in the comments below. Also, I think we got to talk about a little bit of negatives.
Yeah.
Like why you wouldn't like living here? I think one of the biggest one, probably wildfires.
Yeah.
It's a reality when you live away from the center of the city. Like, there's definitely some major ones. I don't think it's as common as it was, thankfully, in the past, but you know, it is something I think people need to be aware of, especially as they get away from the city center.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little more fire danger here, right? A lot of that can come down to how you and your neighbors are maintaining your properties. The fire department does a really good job about sending out notices every year, but you know, higher fire risk is definitely a negative. I think another negative would be, you know, the distance to other things, right? So, you know, it is about, you know, a 25 to 30 minute drive to Oceanside, about the same drive to Temecula. So it really just depends on what time of day you're leaving, where you're looking to go. So if you're looking to get out of Fallbrook, it's not the most convenient place to get in and out of. And that's why we want to kind of highlight a lot of the amenities that are here, but that could definitely be a negative, the getting in and out.
Exactly. Also, home prices are going to be higher. You know, like we talked before, like, you know, you might be able to find 580, 600, but a lot of times, especially if you want like the land or some acreage to go with it, like you're going to be looking at that, you know, over $900,000, $1 million price point. I mean, one of the communities that we went through was Tumble Creek, and you know, the average price point in that community, while beautiful, was about 1.4.
Right. So you have those unique communities like that one specifically. Homes rarely come available. When they do, they're a little higher priced. So, and that's what I mean about such a huge, diverse market. You have homes that could be smaller, more tract style homes. You have homes that are in those type of communities where they're larger, sprawling lots, rarely come available. You have homes that are, you know, kind of up on those hilltops. You can see some of the homes behind us out here, right? So there really is a lot of different options as far as homes go for such a small area. So definitely a lot to consider.
It is a lot, but you know, I hope you enjoyed following us around Fallbrook today. I hope you got a good idea what it's like living here. If you are looking at moving to Fallbrook or San Diego in general, this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of us, reach out, have a conversation. We can definitely help you make that move out here. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you have anything else you want to add before we sign off? All right, great. Well,
thanks, guys.
Hope you enjoyed following us. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.